Polynesians probably got to the Americas before Columbus. It was long thought that Columbus discovered the Americas until it was determined that the Vikings had reached the coast of modern-day Canada a few hundred years earlier. And now, recent research indicates that another group might have also beaten Columbus, the Polynesians. The Polynesians were masters of the Pacific, spreading their culture far and wide as they moved between islands with their masterfully crafted boats and navigational skills, and it seems that they may have made it much further than Hawaii and Easter Island. For starters, recent genetic research strongly indicates pre-Columbian contact, with a study from the journal Nature finding that populations in the Marquesas and Easter Islands had genetic admixture with indigenous populations of South America, suggesting contact long before the arrival of Europeans. The authors narrowed this contact down to between 1150 and 1230 AD, with the mixture into Easter Island happening a few decades later. Then there are lots of other clues. Take, for instance, the many words for the humble sweet potato, a plant which originates in the Americas and mysteriously could be found in eastern Polynesia before the discovery of the Americas. In Quechua, a language in the Andes, it is Kumal. In the Marquesas, it is called Kumar. In Samoa, it's Umala. In Rapani, it's Kumara, because many L's were transformed into R's in their language, a common linguistic occurrence, and so on. Looking at a map of the Pacific, you can clearly see how the word for sweet potato transformed between languages as it was traded and introduced across the ocean. And this isn't just a random addition or subtraction of letters. The evolution of words as Polynesian languages morphed across the Pacific is a well-documented linguistic phenomenon, sometimes referred to as dropping consonants out of their boats as they rowed. And sweet potatoes aren't the only plants that are brought up as evidence. There's also the coconut. Coconuts were introduced to South America and the Caribbean by European settlers, as they are native to the areas around the Indian Ocean, but there are actually a couple of types of coconut that were already present in South America before the plant was introduced by settlers, and they are found on the western coast. A study in the journal Genetic Resources and Crop Evolution investigated the origin of this plant and suggests that a seafaring Austronesian society brought the coconut to South America around 2,250 years ago. And then there are parasitic worms. Yep, you heard that right. Certain types of hookworms have been found in the remains of Native Americans and in Asian populations, which wasn't able to be previously explained by the Bering Strait crossing theory. This is because these hookworms spread and lay their eggs in the soil, but they require a temperature of 22 degrees Celsius to stay alive. It would have been far too cold for this along the frozen Bering Strait, which has led many to speculate that their arrival in the Americas came from a crossing of the Pacific, where it could have stayed warm throughout the trip. And these are far from the only pieces of evidence, with seemingly more uncovered the deeper we look.